Welcome. Today I want to talk to you about something that might affect you daily. It's how to transform negative situations in your relationship into little rockets that accelerate your progress, your personal progress, your spiritual progress, and the happiness of your relationship. Seems almost impossible, right? But it is possible. We all experience conflict in our relationship. We all experience situations where our partners talk to us in a way that we don't enjoy, we don't appreciate. We all experience horrible fights, nasty fights, not talking for days or weeks, or perhaps hours in some instances. We all have, perhaps to a certain extent, experienced resentment, the feeling that we don't know if we want to stay or leave, if we are better off on our own, or should we perhaps stay and fight for our relationship. But whatever the case for you, one thing is for sure, at some point in your life, you have experienced conflict, especially if you have been or you currently are in a romantic relationship. And this conflict comes and goes, and it happens for different reasons. And its reasons and intensity can be varied, but they all have, those situations, they all have one thing in common. They make us, they leave us feeling weak, vulnerable, sad, depressed, angry, hopeless, perhaps, and not sure how to pick up the pieces and how to continue. And this especially happens when conflict appears to happen very regularly in our relationship. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I have been there myself. I have experienced situations in my romantic relationships where there was a lot of conflict happening very often. And I have asked myself question, how to continue? How can I continue this? I'm someone who believes that changing a partner is not a good solution, because I believe that relationships trigger our growth, not our happiness. Relationships are not there to make you happy. Relationships are there to make you grow and learn new things. And this is my personal belief, like I said, but it's one that I've adopted some time ago. And so far, I can see evidence left, right, and center of that being the truth and the case. So what I mean by that is that we often get to know or attract people subconsciously in our life based on the lessons we have to complete, the projects, the assignments, you could call it, that we need to complete. And that's often based on the wounds that we have suffered from in our childhood. And so many of us don't understand why do we react in a certain way in a relationship? Why do we fight the way we fight? Why do we end up with a partner that we have ended up with? Why did we deserve it, right? So many of us don't understand it. And so many of us think that life and people and a partner is beyond our control, and we just have to accept it the way it is. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. Your life is in your hands. Your happiness is truly in your hands, and you can do a lot yourself by changing your outlook. And the first step in changing this outlook is to take a piece of paper and a pen and notice the situations and events that occur in your life regularly that you do not enjoy, where you feel like you are trapped. The situations with your partner, with your friends, with your mom or dad that happen on regular basis that cause conflict. Write them down or notice them in your mind and see what is the similarity between all of them. What could it be? For me, it was the wound from my childhood of my parents being emotionally unavailable for me. I felt like my needs did not matter. I was not heard as a child. I had no voice. Even when I tried to speak up, nobody would be there to take it seriously. Yes, people were there. They fed me, they dressed me, they on occasion listened to what I had to say, but so often my words were not taken seriously. So often my needs were not taken seriously. And I have developed unconscious belief that in my romantic relationships, I don't deserve to be heard or listened to or taken seriously. And my lesson or a project or assignment to complete in my adulthood was based on that limiting belief that I don't deserve to be taken seriously. I'm just there in a supportive role to serve a man with making his life amazing and helping him create the life of his dreams. But my actual needs and what I feel doesn't really matter that much. So I have subconsciously attracted someone who for a very long time was treating me that way. Until I've woken up and realized that it's something I'm doing, that I am empowered, in fact, very powerful person, that I am empowered to make my own choices in life and make my own new beliefs and transform my life and find more happiness and life satisfaction. And of course, so many of us here wants the same thing, but have no idea how to get there. But also there's one thing we all have in common. We all want an amazing, huge change immediately. We want it to be delivered to us, ideally on a plate, and ideally with very little effort from our side. So many of us blame our partners for our lack of happiness. So many of us blame our mothers or fathers for the life that we have today. So many of us are actually not speaking to our family members because we feel that because of them, our life is the way it is. So many of us are not talking to our partner, and so many of my clients resent their partner because of the way he or she makes them feel. And it really doesn't have to be that way. It starts with you, and it starts with your self-observation and self-reflection, and looking deep within and understanding what is there left to love and to heal, what is there left to transform and to improve. It's up to you to notice and identify those things and do something about them. And the key question here is, what about your behavior are you going to notice today? I know you might feel it's your partner who's the bad one. Maybe you even have a big reasons to believe they are the only problem and you are not the problem. But, you know, it really does take two to tango. There's two people in a relationship. There's not one. And you are part of the dynamic, however unhealthy that dynamic might be. So you have to do your part and they have to do their part. This is how it works. This is how improvement works. But even just with your work on yourself, identifying your limiting beliefs, creating new beliefs about yourself that are going to serve you long term, creating beliefs about romantic relationships and other people that are going to serve you long term. You can shift the dynamics of your relationship even when your partner is doing no work. Trust me, I've been there and I made that happen for myself. If you have any comments about this topic or you would like to learn more about it, leave me a comment underneath this video and I'll be more than happy to talk about this again next week. Take care. Have a lovely week.